Hi everyone, my name is Rafe Daramo. Today I'm joined with Staff Sergeant Woodruff with the Ohio Army National Guard. I just want to say thank you for letting me interview you for this project. So my first question is, why do you think people should join the National Guard?
So personally, I just think the Guard gives, I always say there's three different aspects that the Guard gives that no other branch can give. So one, the aspect of service. We are a part-time service, so, you know, for a lot of people, like, service can be kind of a scary thing, but it's always great to give back to the country that you live in. So for that reason, that's one good reason. Two, we have our education benefits are the best out of any branch. So if you're looking to serve and also get education, it's the best way you can do it. We pay 100% tuition. And then third is the paid training and experience that you get through being in the Guard. So you know, you'll go to your job training and you'll get hands-on training, and then you can come back, and a lot of the training that you get can either correlate with whatever you want to do in college, or it correlates to different types of certificates so that you can go straight into the workforce. Plus you have that experience, because I see a lot of people, you know, go through college and they have these 4 years and they go and, you know, they apply for a job and they're like, here you go, here's my resume and this is what I did, here's my diploma from college. And people are like, okay, but like, what's your experience?
Yeah.
And that just like kills people. So the great thing about the Guard is you're going to get your education, you're going to get that 4 years of college, but you're also going to have that experience that will put you ahead. Plus, you have that military service that already puts you ahead of other people. So I would say those.
And speaking of jobs, so what are the jobs like in the National Guard? Because a lot of people think it's just geared towards combat and like the infantry type jobs.
So while we do have that, and it's very cool because, you know, a lot of people are like, well, I want to do that part-time service, but I want to do like special forces or something like that. Yeah. Ohio actually has a special forces thing that people can get into. But like you said, if people don't want to do, you know, that sort of combat job, then we do have jobs like a 42 Alpha. Basically, they do all of our paperwork. So they'll be up in an office all day long at drill, and they deal with pay issues and health issues and things like that through people's different paperworks. We have a supply sergeant or supply people who work in that, and they're basically just making sure we have all of our equipment. They're handing it out to different soldiers. Or like I was in commo. So basically I dealt with radios and computers and things like that, which really, like, yes, you can be in like a combat area, but most of the time, you know, you're sitting in an office like fixing a radio or whatever it may be.
So then what are the like physical requirements of these incoming soldiers to join the Army, basically?
Right. So basically, be perfectly healthy. No. So you will first sit down with a recruiter, so like myself, and we'll go through a list of questions just to pre-qualify you. So basically, you can't be on medication. If you've ever had any surgeries, it can't be anything like super major. Can't have asthma, can't have ADD. But basically, we'll sit down, we'll go over like an overview of like the past 10 years, if you're like medical life, if you have, like I said, like asthma, whatever it may be, if you have any law violations, things like that. And then you'll go to a place called MEPS, and that's where you will process to enlist into the military. There, I kind of explain it as like an over-the-top physical. So they're just checking your eyes, your ears, like everything, making sure that you're good to go, and then nothing bad will happen to you while you're in basic. And basically after that, as long as you pass that, that's really the only physical requirements.
Right. So then what would you say to people who are scared of like the military service or deploying to a foreign nation?
I would say, one, the great thing about the Guard is that it's a part-time service, right? Yeah. So I tell people when they come in, you know, you're going to sign a 6 or a 3-year contract. And even if you come in, you're like, this is the worst idea. Like, why did I do this? You only have to do it 2 days a month and then 2 weeks over the summer. Also, like, the great thing about the Guard, because it's that part-time service, you know, I've known people who have been in for 10 years and they've never deployed, but I've known people who have been in for 4 years and they've deployed. I myself, I've been in for 6 years. I mobilized Washington, D.C., and it was the best time of my life. I enjoyed it a lot. I made a lot of money. Honestly, everything in life is scary, but it's also, you know, the fact of, like, anything can happen to you at any time. And I think it's one of those things where if it's something you really want to do, just talk. I think a lot of times I have people come in here and, you know, it's mostly parents, I think, a lot of the times that are scared more than like the person themselves. But usually I just have people come in and I sit down with them, like, I'm going to tell you everything straight up, like, this is how it's going to go. If it still scares you at that point, I think a lot of things in life are scary when you first try them, but I think once you get into them, they're not so bad. So I know I personally was like scared just over the fact if I was gonna like it, and then like the whole deploying thing, but I think once I got in, I just realized that like that fact of being able to do service over top of your fear, and then also facing your fear, and it makes you like, I think, a better person and more independent and more willing to like take on challenges.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
You're
That's all I had for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope this helps you guys think about your future. Maybe join the National Guard.
Yep.